Hey guys, what's going on? I wanted to try a one-handed one there. Today we're taking a look at the QP Mini stylet here in the Frame Arms Girl line from Kotobukiya. So we took a look at the Go Ride before and it's a lot of fun. Essentially what these are, it's sort of like the regular size like Frame Arms Girl head on the body of a hand scale version Frame Arms Girl, except the body is also a little bit more kind of chibi-ized, if that's a word, if that makes sense, because some parts of the body are a little bit different from the hand scale version. Some parts are reused, but some parts of the body are remade to be a little bit kind of shorter like that in the proportions. So anyway, now that I kind of gave you an overview of kind of what this line is, we can go ahead and get right into the unboxing and review here for the stylet. Alright, so checking out the box here, we have a very nice illustration and then a photograph of the actual kit. This is actually pretty close to 1-to-1 size, I think, with this one. They're really small kits, but there you got that. It says that it's 80 millimeters in height, so 8 centimeters. I think that's got to be pretty close right there. But some really cool box art. On the ends of the box, you just kind of got the same thing. These are in the standard kind of Frame Arms Girl style, where you have this very nice gradient over here paired with the illustration. On the one side of the box, we've got an image of the fully painted and decaled kit here, front and back, and then a look at the weapons right here. So it's got the standard stylet weapons. On the other side, we got a look at the face parts that we have included for this. So it looks like we've got a standard kind of smiling face and then a kind of action face there. Some decals, we have those included as well, and there's a look at the decal sheet. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. And then on the back side, a look at basically the main kit, the regular kit, with a couple of QP Mini kits up there on the side. And there you can see kind of how you can interchange it with parts from different kits in the line, of course. And there's a look at everything that you have included with this, the stand, the option parts, and the main kit itself. And as you guys can see, not a very big box here, but we'll take a look at everything inside. First up, there's a look at that water slide decal sheet. You have a couple of really small markings for it, some decals there for the pens, and then the majority of the markings are just going to be for different facial expressions. And as you can see, you have a lot of options here. So these are also compatible with just the regular faces of your like full-size Frame Arms Girl kits. So you can use these on just your regular Frame Arms Girl kits if you'd like to, or probably Megami Device kits or whatever else. So this is a lot of really great options that you have included with this. As for the instruction manual, we have the same illustration right here on the front. On the back side here is our color and decal guide. Right there's the colors, and you can see like where the decals are placed, as we have a couple of nice big reference images there. That's continued onto this inner page for the rest of the colors, and then we've got a parts list right here, and all of the construction is just going to be here in black and white on the inside. But again, pretty straightforward, pretty simple construction here for these, as they're obviously not very large kits. But before we take a look at the rest of the runners, here is your face parts. So as you can see, you have two which don't have anything printed on them at all, and then you have your two pre-printed faces there. A couple of little parts here on runner B, which I believe is our new thigh parts for the kit. Getting into the rest of our runners here, we've got our hand parts. As you can see, very tiny. We've got holding hands, open expressive hands, and closed fists here in black. Runner A then going to be all of our parts here in blue. So this is going to be the main color for all of the armored parts of the body here, obviously. Runner C then in skin tone is going to be a couple of the joint connector parts. Runner D here in a almost black color is going to be some more parts for around on the body. Got a couple of parts here in white for runner E. Runner F is our hair parts in a very, very light blue color here. Runner H is some more skin tone parts there for the kit, including parts for in the head and like connector pieces there for the arms. And I think those are the thigh pieces, which I thought was what we were looking at on the B runner. I think those are different though. Last couple bits here, runner I is going to be the clear parts for the included stand, and runner J in a light gray color is our weapons parts here. As you can see, pretty small and cute, definitely, but let's go ahead and get it put together and see how she looks. Alright, so the kit obviously didn't take too long to get put together, and here is the finished result. Our teeny tiny little itty bitty stylet here. Very cool though. The hair is quite long. I'm wondering how well it's going to be able to stand up. Well, I guess we'll see here right now. You kind of have to angle the hair in a way so that it's able to stand, because the hair is actually longer than the body itself. But again, like we've seen with the Go Ride before it, a lot of really great detail on this. They've somehow managed to pack like all the detail of the full design into this teeny tiny little package here. Pretty good color separation as well. Of course, it is missing some colors and it's not going to be completely color accurate at this size, but even if you were to just go ahead and fill in some of the panel line details and stuff like that, and then just give it a little bit of top coat on it, it would still be looking pretty good, even though it's missing some of its colors. At this size, you can't really complain too much about that. So real quick, first off, for a size comparison, here she is compared with a standard size frame arms girl. So you can see the head is the same size, and it's just going to be essentially the hand scale body with a couple of new parts there to change up the proportion slightly from the hand scale kit. But getting into some of the accessories here, we've got these parts here, which are essentially parts which will be adapters for the hard points, because the hard points on this kit are smaller than 3mm, which is the standard size for like frame arms girl, all the MSG parts and everything like that. Because these are smaller, these adapter pieces will allow you to take that smaller size peg hole and turn it into a 3mm peg there sticking out like that if you needed to use those. We've got her teeny tiny little set of missiles here, which can be plugged onto the back of the arm just like that. Now either onto the left or the right arm, doesn't matter, both of which have that peg hard point right there for plugging those missiles on. And her other weapon being the tiny little minigun here, which again just is held in the hand and then just is kind of off to the side like that. So this can be used on either the left side or the right side. All you have to do is just basically turn this handle around the other way. And as for the hand options that we have closed fists on there, we have a set of open expressive hands, and then we also have a set of holding hands for holding on to any of your different accessories. And if you wanted to use some other MSG weapons or something with this kit, we also have 2 of these handles. And what this will do is be able to give you a handle that this kit can hold on to, which is a really teeny tiny handle, and you just plug this into whatever other probably normal size weapons, which would be pretty large in comparison, but then you can use this handle for having this hold onto other different weapons or accessories that are not included with this. You've got this piece included here as well, which just looks like a little peg with a couple of like lines around the end of it. Essentially what this is for is just popping in this kind of bar here under the chin when you're changing out the faces or whatever. If this comes undone, you can use this to kind of push that bar back into place, I guess is what I gather from the instruction manual. Not really all that necessary though, but they include that. And then we've got our alternate face here, which is really quite nice, whereas the one here is pretty plain. I mean, just kind of a standard, just slightly smiling face. This one's obviously much more expressive, so that should make for some nice posing. And on the note of posing, we've got our stand here, which is also going to be quite nice. So there's a number of different articulation points in that along the way, and then you can turn that at the base. As you can see here, if you have multiple different kits, you can attach the bases together with this kind of system here for how the bases interlock together. An interesting point here for the stylet, because it has the backpack on the back, the place that we're going to plug our base connector in is actually going to be right up into the backpack there like that, which is kind of unique. As for the articulation of these kits, the head will go up and down. The articulation is going to be fairly basic, obviously just due to the really tiny size. The arm at the shoulder is going to be able to raise up a little bit, but the problem is kind of this wing fin part there on the side is going to be kind of getting in the way. And then we have just a single joint here at the elbow, giving you about a 90-degree bend. The hand is on a teeny tiny little ball joint, which is basically just going to be able to rotate essentially as far as the movement of that. We have a ball joint between the top and bottom half of the body, which again will give us a little bit of movement forward, back, side to side, turning here at the midsection. The skirt is not articulated at all like on the full-size version, but down here at the legs, the hip joint is actually able to drop down just ever so slightly. You can see kind of the adjustment there up, and then that pulls down, and what that will do is allow you to bring the leg farther to the front. Again, just because of the shape of the stylet's armor, you kind of move things around a little bit. Move the knee, bend the knee, you can bring the leg up pretty far to the front. The knee joint, like the elbow, is just a single joint there, but you get a pretty full bend there at the knee. And then the feet are also on just little ball joints, just a single piece there for those, so you're able to move them around side to side, forward and back a little bit there. Up underneath the feet, you have some pretty nice detail with a teeny little hole there, which is not really going to serve any purpose, but overall, again, for the size, the articulation is certainly pretty impressive. And so yeah, even though I think you're not going to quite have the range of posing options that you would have with the full-size version of the kit, again, for this teeny tiny size, it is pretty amazing what Kotobukiya has packed into there, just in terms of the articulation, in terms of the detail, in terms of the color separation. Like I said at the beginning of the review, I mean, it's going to be missing some of the smaller little color apps here and there, but for the size, the color separation that they've been able to do with this is pretty impressive. So if you are a fan of the stylet design, if you're just a fan of Frame Arms Girl in general, and you want just like a little version, just stick on your desk or on your shelf or something like that, these are really nice kits, just as teeny little chibi versions of some of the most popular Frame Arms Girls. So moving on in the line into the future, I'm not sure how many more Frame Arms Girls designs we can expect to see in the QP Mini line. I would imagine basically anything that has a hand scale kit, they can make a QP Mini version. If you guys like the more chibi styling of these compared to the hand scale versions, then definitely check them out. They're very nice, really cool kits here, and all the waterslide decals again are a pretty awesome accessory, just in the fact that even if you don't want to use those waterslide decals with this particular kit, you can use those on any of the other Frame Arms Girls kits to make some custom faces. So that's another kind of perk of this kit. It adds a lot of value to this kit just to have those waterslide decals included as well. So it's a very cute and awesome little kit here of the stylet. What do you guys think about it? There's a couple other different versions of the stylet. It'd be cool to see maybe the XF3 version, which is kind of like the gray and black version of the stylet, out as like maybe a exclusive version or something like that. Alternate color version of this kit I think would be cool, because I do like that gray color scheme on the stylet. It also, I think, works really well with the design. But anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts. If you want to check out some of these kits for yourself, you can do that at USA Gundam Store. The link will be down in the video description below. Aside from these kits, we have everything else there from Kotobukiya, and plenty of other mecha models and everything else there for you guys to check out. So check out the link in the video description. And as always, guys, if you would like to like or subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. I really appreciate all your guys' support. Thank you so much. Until next time, have a great day, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.